Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. One of the questions that I get asked a lot when it comes to fragrances is what is my favorite fragrance, what are my top 5 favorite fragrances, or what are my top 10 favorite fragrances? And since I couldn't narrow it down to 1 or 5, I decided to do my top 10 favorite fragrances in my collection. And this is really more of a point in time favorite fragrances because I think my tastes in fragrances and what I'm reaching for changes throughout the years, but right now these are the 10. If I could only have 10 in my collection, these would be it. So I'm going to get started with the first one, which will come as no surprise to anyone who knows my sort of fragrance, my taste in fragrances, and that is number 5, Eau Premiere from Chanel. And this is a fragrance that out of all the fragrances in my collection, was the signature scent that I wore for the longest period of time. I probably wore this for about 4 or 5 years, nonstop, exclusively, and it still sort of comforts me every time I smell this fragrance. It's soft, it's very feminine, very lovely, and just something that I think I could wear for any occasion, any time of year throughout my life, and one that I just really, really enjoy. So this would probably be my number 1 if I could only have one, but yeah, I would say, and probably the first 5 I'm going to talk about are the first 5 that I pulled out because I knew I couldn't be without them. So those are probably my top 5 as well. But aside from that, yeah, I love all 10 of these fragrances. The next fragrance on my list is a signature scent that it's sort of a shame became my signature scent during the time that it did, but that is Baccarat Rouge 540. And I discovered this fragrance shortly before the pandemic. After that, the pandemic hit and I was wearing it a lot because I just love the scent around my home. I went through a bottle and had to repurchase, and I really love it, but it does remind me of sort of a sad time. But it is a beautiful fragrance and one that I would never want to be without in my collection. It's light, it's airy, it's sweet, it's woody, it's all the things I love that to me are cozy and comforting, but at the same time, this one is just kind of special and I absolutely adore this fragrance. The next fragrance may come as a bit of a surprise, but I am just so in love with this fragrance right now. It had to be on this list, and it is from Guerlain, and this is Insolence. And this is not a new fragrance. In fact, I searched and searched to find one in this older packaging because I just loved it so much, but I love this fragrance. This is a soft, powdery violet, sweet violet scent that I really find comforting. It's something I love to wear around my home. I love to wear it to bed. Sometimes I'll even spray it on in the mornings when I'm doing yoga because I find it just uplifts my spirit, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. So definitely one that has been around a while, but I just sort of recently discovered it last year, and it brings back a lot of memories of my childhood, and I love this fragrance. The next fragrance on my list just recently entered my collection, and I am head over heels for it right now. It is from Christian Louboutin, and this is Loubirouge. And Loubirouge is just a very simple, straightforward iris, vanilla, and cardamom fragrance, but it is just such a wearable fragrance. It's something that I find I have been reaching for and reaching for. I know I'm going to end up getting the larger bottle with the cute little shoe on top, but right now it is just a lovely fragrance that I've been wearing ever since I got it, on and off, and could definitely see myself wearing all year, any occasion. Definitely one that is signature scent worthy and definitely had to be in my top 10. Next up is another sort of powdery iris fragrance that has been in and out of my life for years, and I absolutely love it. This is from Prada. This is Infusion d'Iris. And to me, of all the iris fragrances I own, this is one of my favorite. It is just a true powdery, clean, almost soapy iris fragrance that is just very kind of cold, but at the same time, I find it very comforting. So yeah, it is a beautiful fragrance. It's one that I used to wear to the office, another signature scent of mine that I wore for many years, and I absolutely love it. The next fragrance on my list that just entered my collection this year, later this year, is from YSL, and this is Babycat. And I had to have a deep, dark vanilla fragrance on this, and this, of all of my vanilla fragrances, is one of my favorite. This one packs a punch. People definitely smell you when you're wearing it, but there's something about it that is so cozy and comforting, but at the same time, I find it to be kind of a formal scent. It's something I could see myself wearing to like a black tie affair if I were ever invited to one. But yeah, it's just a really beautiful fragrance that I could wear for anything from bed to laying around the house to going out to a black tie affair. So definitely a beautiful fragrance, my deepest, darkest vanilla, and I absolutely love it. The next fragrance that I could not be without in my collection, this is one that I've had in and out of my life over the years since I discovered it, and it is one of the fragrances that introduced me to layering fragrances, and it's from Jo Malone. This is Mimosa and Cardamom. And this is a really beautiful fragrance that manages to be both soft and warm and yet light and fresh at the same time. It's one that I find super cozy, super comforting, but yet at the same time I can wear it year round, any occasion. My only complaint about it is that it doesn't have great lasting power, but I find that when I do layer it with other Jo Malone fragrances, it definitely lasts a little bit longer, especially if I layer it with something that is from the what is it called? The Intense collection in the black bottles. I find that it makes it last a lot longer, and it pairs really lovely with the Myrrh and Tonka fragrance, as well as with Dark Amber and Ginger Lily, which I no longer have in my collection, but this is just a gorgeous fragrance all by itself. So I wear it quite a bit throughout the year, and this is kind of one of those scents that I don't wear for a lot of formal occasions or going out in the evenings. It's more of a daytime scent, but I absolutely love it, and I get tons of compliments when I wear this. Next up is another fragrance that I have worn, I would say, as a signature scent since moving to Florida. This is one that I wear throughout the year, and I always reach for it. It is the fragrance that introduced me to the green vanilla, and this is Gypsy Water from Byredo. I love this fragrance. This fragrance is woody, it's vanilla, it's all the things I love, and fresh at the same time. It's a vanilla that's light enough to wear year round, which I love living here in Florida. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous scent. It's very relaxing, it's very comforting, and definitely something that I feel like is not super formal, but one that I can get away with wearing, like I said, any day, any time of year, any occasion, and I love this. Next up is the only fragrance I think I have on this list that I would consider to be a bit of a freshie. This is more of like a musky, fresh fragrance, and this is from Parfums de Marly. This is Valaya. And Valaya has recently, for me, kind of trumped all of my other Parfums de Marly fragrances, including Delina. I love Delina, but I only love Delina for like certain days or occasions, but I find this is one that I can wear all year round. It is a beautiful kind of floral musk fragrance that is somewhat, or I shouldn't say somewhat, it is very uplifting. It definitely energizes me, puts me in a happy mood, and is something that I just really enjoy, like I said, for any occasion, any time of year. And those are the kind of scents I would want to have if I could only have 10, or things that I know I would get a lot of wear out of, and definitely Valaya would be one of them. And the last fragrance on this list is another one that entered my collection last year, and I fell head over heels not only for this fragrance, but for also this fragrance house. This is from Mizensir, and this is Tre Share. And I know there's tons of other perfume reviews about this fragrance, but this fragrance is, for me, if I could only have one sort of orange blossom vanilla fragrance, this would be the one. It is soft, it is cozy, it is powdery, it is intoxicating at the same time. It's just one that is so unique. And there are so many designer fragrances on the market that do kind of that orange blossom vanilla concoction, but this one is like none of them. This one is just like super almost ethereal. It's bright, it's lovely, and yet it manages to be cozy and warm. There's a little saltiness to it. It's really pretty and unlike anything I've ever smelled, and I just absolutely love it. That's Tre Share from Mizensir. So those are my top 10 fragrances in my collection at this moment. If I could only have 10, those would be the ones. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know if there are some fragrances that you were expecting that did not make the list, or vice versa, if there are ones that you were surprised were on the list, as well as any others that are kind of your favorite scent. If you could only have one in your collection, which would they be? Absolutely love making these videos, love watching these videos, and love getting your questions. So thank you so much. Keep them coming, and I will see you soon in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.